Welcome, friends. This is Tomar Levine of Soul Guidance for Awakening. And it is a warm and windy early evening in New York City in this spring day of March 26, 2021. And I'm doing this broadcast a little bit later, well, quite a bit later than usual, because I've gotten very caught up in a project that has completely transported me. I'm actually starting to write something about my history with channeling. And somehow I'm just astounded at what's coming out. So I had a real desire, a need to get on video and speak. But when I looked at all the topics that I had written down to talk about next, none of them felt right. But I knew that I wanted to be streaming something. So I realized, oh, I have to channel. I just have to open it to my guides finally. The thing that I've been wanting to do for so long, but have been putting off out of the obvious nervousness, one might imagine. So that's what I'm doing now today. We'll just see where it goes. And what I was hearing first in my mind when I first kind of opened to that possibility were the words, "You are living in an amazing time. We are so grateful that you are here, that you are part of this extraordinary flowering of humanity, of spirit, of energy, of excitement, of potential, of evolution itself. You may not realize how much you are part of that. You may not realize what your contribution is. In fact, it's highly likely that you're not aware of that at all, not aware of the degree to which your presence on this planet and the light that you hold as a soul, especially with the purpose and determination and devotion that you have to be of service to the great transition that you know in your heart of hearts is taking place, that you know in your heart of hearts you are here to help with. The power of that holds so much more transformative potential than you probably are capable of recognizing, because to you, to yourself, you view yourself as a human being. You view yourself as something small, individual, just very minute, like a tiny particle, like a grain of sand on the beach. And in one sense, you are that. But instead of a grain of sand on the beach, think of a star in the heavens, because you know they are equivalent. And think of the infinite number of individuated sparks of the divine that have been released and that continue to be released, because that process never ends. There wasn't one big bang and there wasn't one birth of souls into the world, into manifestation. That is an ongoing process. That is an eternal, ever renewing in each moment, arising of life, arising of creation. So there is no limit. There is an infinitude of sparks of the divine, just like grains of sand on the beach and the stars that fill the heavens. And the more you look through your telescopes, the more of those stars you see. You see a black patch in the sky that's really tiny by the scale of your map of the heavens. And when you focus your highest telescopes in that area, you discover galaxy upon galaxy upon galaxy that were not visible before. That is the nature of reality. That is the nature of eternal life and the multiple universes that continue to unfold and blossom from the heart and core of the one, of the divine source of all creation. So even though you may feel like a tiny dot, like a tiny grain of sand, if you think about what the meaning is, that there are an infinitude of sparks of the divine, and you are just one, and you might think, well, I'm just a measly tiny spark of the divine. But you know from your understanding of the holographic concept that every spark of the divine holds within it the totality of the divine. And there is no difference between the water in a drop and the water in the ocean. That in its essence, there is no separation, which means that the value of one is the value of the other. The truth of one is the truth of the other. And I know that in a human vehicle, it's extremely difficult to comprehend this because you have agreed to descend into this package of flesh and consciousness and identity and history and emotions and psychology and memory and all the long train of events that leads up to your incarnation and that trails behind you, which you carry with you everywhere you go like a heavy burden, because you carry with you trails from many sources, more than you realize, that go way beyond your memories or even your unremembered experiences of this lifetime. And so because you have agreed to be contained in this vehicle of flesh, of identity, of personality, of beliefs, of context, of history, of humanity, you are forced to view yourself in a much more limited way than you will see yourself from a higher vantage point. We'd like to invite you to ask about that higher vantage point, to invite that higher vantage point, and to open yourself to the curiosity of what that would be like to actually see from above or from beyond or from the vastness, from the infinite, to see what your life looks like, what your soul looks like, what your incarnation looks like, and what that vaster part of you, that extension of you that rises up above from your incarnated condition. For not all of who you are is contained in this vessel. The more you come to understand and acknowledge the meaning, the purpose, the value, the essence of who you are as an individual, dear human, the more you will feel the blessing of this lifetime. Be grateful for the opportunity that your soul caught like a current of air to carry you, or a wave of water to carry you into the shore of earth. You didn't have to come here, but you did. And for that we are extremely grateful, because your light, your energy, your essence, and your presence on this planet mean a great deal, carry a great deal of weight, have a huge impact on the consciousness of the totality of which you are a part, but which you influence more greatly than you probably appreciate. So that's all we'd like to share with you today, simply our thanks and our blessings, and to acknowledge you and perhaps remind you that you are so much more than you probably believe, understand, or can even accept. Many blessings to you, and bye for now.